Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan coming at you today from the Transformers The Last Night. This is Studio Series 44 World War II Hot Rod. And I got this figure locally here and thought I'd take a look at it. I don't usually collect these figures. I do have a few of these Studio Series figures in my collection. But again, like I've said in the past, I'm drawn to a lot of Transformers that are aesthetically pleasing to me. That have a nice design or have some nice molded details or paint and things like that. So when I saw this guy in person, I decided to pick him up. He looks really cool and can't wait to get him out of the box. So without further ado, let's take a close look at the packaging. So here we have at the top, we have Transformers 35th anniversary. We have Takatomi, ages 5 and up. It says there in Japanese. You have the Transformers logo. You get a really cool shot of him wielding some not double barrel, but this, yeah, I don't know what you call those. They're pretty badass though. They look pretty neat. And then you have Transformers The Last Night down here, Studio Series World War II Hot Rod, and then again in Japanese. Not much for the packaging. On the side, you do get a kind of close-up of Hot Rod there. And on the other side, you get that full image again. Product information on the bottom. Let's take a look at the back. And yes, it's all in Japanese. And you get some product images there. A little blurb about World War II Hot Rod. And it does say it's from the Last Night movie. And there's other figures in the series. So, yeah, just we'll get him open in a minute here. But first thing when I saw this figure, I was really attracted to all the detail and the paint on this figure. A really well done figure. So let's get him out and see what he's all about. Okay, so here we have Studio Series 44 World War II Hot Rod out of the packaging. And I will say a couple things right off the bat. As soon as I picked this guy up, I felt a huge difference in the plastic compared to like Off-Road Bumblebee or some of the other Studio Series figures. I noticed sort of a little bit more bulk, a little bit more weight. Also, the joints feel a little bit tighter. So yeah, it's definitely a different feel as far as some people talk about like the plastic feel or how figures are, how they feel in your hands weight wise and plastic quality and all that. I definitely say this is compared to other Studio Series figures I've handled, it definitely has some weight and heft to it. So it's a very nice surprise actually. So yeah, here he is in the backdrop. I can't honestly say, I can't remember if I saw the Last Night movie. If I did, I don't remember it. I'm not too into the Michael Bay movie series. But this is some sort of scene from the Last Night. And I can't help but imagine this building just reminds me of the clock tower from Back to the Future. I know there's no clock up there, but I don't know, for some reason it just reminds me of that. Anyways, getting onto the figure here, let's take a closer look at World War II Hot Rod. This figure has it's got so much going on. Take a look at the head sculpt first. You get some nice, really sort of turquoise painted eyes there. A little bit of kind of reddish orange, kind of rust color on the nose and the cheeks there. Really cool head sculpt. A lot of molded detail. I mean, the amount of molded detail on this in the robot mode is just amazing. And you also get some little, not sure what that's supposed to be, some little insignia there or anything, some little white paint there. Just going down the figure, you get just sculpted detail all around. I mean, there's just everywhere you look, there's just little, pipes and grates and all sorts of stuff. Nice silver paint up and down here. Even on the arms, you get some silver paint picked out here. You get that same sort of rust color on the outside of the arms. Going down the legs, you get this sort of D2 mark here. Some more insignia painted on the legs there. I mean, the amount of detail on this figure is amazing. And initially, this is what attracted me to this figure. On the sides here, we'll get more into vehicle mode, but there's, obviously you can see some vehicle mode parts. And he does have a little bit of a backpack. He's got, he's got some car parts hanging off him there, but it's not too bad. You know, I've definitely seen worse. So I don't want to get too much into the car parts here. We'll save that for vehicle mode. Anyways, let's take off the gun there. Let's put him down, and just take a quick look at the weapon he comes with. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is called, but it's got all these little missiles here. Let's see if I can focus here, which is all painted in that same sort of rust red, and it looks really nice. I mean, they did a really good job on this, and just the gun itself is cool. It's like I've never really seen a gun like this before. So yeah, really, really nice. The only thing I wish this handle was like a little bit forward. The only thing is when you put it in his hand, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really, it stays, but I kind of wish it was just like forward a little bit more. It's just kind of the style of guns. It just kind of pops out. That could be just because of his hands being too big. I think the hole's maybe too big here. Oh, actually, there is a thumb. Is that a thumb? I thought that was a thumb, some thumb articulation there. No, that's just a pin for the hand. Anyways, so speaking of articulation, we'll put the accessory down, and we'll get into the articulation. His head is on a ball joint. You get a full 360. You get actually some nice upward and downward movement here. So a lot of posability on the head. Some nice expressions there. On the arms. Okay, there we go. I just tried to pull the arms up here, and just the ball joint came off. So yeah, there's not a lot of articulation here at the shoulder, because if you try and go up, that's what happens. So you know that is hindered by the car part. So his arm basically goes up and down. It can go out that far. You do get pretty much a 90-degree at the elbow, and again, these joints are really tight, which is really nice. You do get an elbow swivel, and as far as the hand, you do get a little bit of movement in the hand. I'm assuming that's for transformation. And coming down to the legs, there's nothing at the... Oh, I stand corrected. There's a little bit of waist swivel there. Not a whole lot. I don't think you can do a full 360. But again, there's just, even inside there, there's some little molded detail inside there. Some like springs and things, which is the attention to detail. Very nice, very nice. And as far as his legs... He can kick out that far. His legs can go not quite. Again, I feel like if I stretch this, it's gonna the ball joint's gonna pop off. He can kick back pretty far. I mean, again, you can move that backpack and sort of have him kick a little bit farther out. There is a thigh swivel there, and let's see at the knee. There's about maybe a little less than 90 degrees at the knee, and the feet. There's not a whole lot of articulation in the feet. It's pretty, these feet are locked in. I think there's maybe a tiny little give here. But as far as ankle tilt or anything like that, there is none of that. So anyways, let's take away the backdrop and let's just do some quick comparisons. I will put World War II Hot Rod. I keep on saying World War II Bumblebee, but it's not. And yeah, because of the backpack, he's a little top heavy. So here he is compared with Off-Road Bumblebee. You can see Off-Road Bumblebee is tiny. World War II Hot Rod isn't much bigger, but yeah, he stands over Bumblebee quite a bit. And then just for your sort of Earthrise Deluxe Ironworks, there he is. That's how they scale. Let's put them next to each other. Kind of similar. They have that similar sort of gray, sort of gunmetal gray paint to them. So there they are, just some quick comparisons there. So yeah, he scales pretty well with the Off-Road Bumblebee. And again, just before we get into vehicle mode, again, the weight of this feels really just kind of really light and almost cheap feeling. But the weight on this, I don't know, is just because there's obviously more parts, but just the plastic itself and the joints, they feel tighter, they feel good. Anyways, so let's take away him, and let's get World War II Hot Rod in his vehicle mode. Okay, so here we have World War II Hot Rod in its vehicle mode, and transformation is relatively easy. There's a few sort of tabbing issues that kind of don't stay in place, namely his feet that fold up, or sorry, his arms that fold up inside. Can be a little bit fiddly. They don't really peg in that well, which sort of causes, let's just take this get this up close here, which underneath the top here, these arms kind of don't rest or don't really peg in quite well, so it causes this part to not really close. So it doesn't really, you can see where it should tab in there, but it's really loose. I don't know if it's my transformation or maybe this is just a little bit loose there. Not a big deal. I mean, it should lie flush. It's pretty close, but I might fiddle with that some more. But yeah, there's some, a lot of these Studio Series figures, it's some sort of tabbing issues. But that aside, this vehicle mode is cool. I mean, this thing is really looks like it caused some damage. Right off the bat, you get a really nice paint job. You get that gunmetal gray, but then here, if you can see, it sort of fades out into the black here, and you get some really nice sort of glossy black. You get some painted headlights there. You get a little sort of grill or whatever under here. Some tire detail. Nothing really painted on the tire. You do get some silver paint here on the sides. Again, really nice molded detail. Sort of armored car. It looks more like an armored car to me. Not much on the back. There's definitely more detail in the robot mode, but as far as the paint job, not sure how that's showing up on camera, but it's a really nice fade from that gunmetal gray into the black. And then another really cool thing is it has the gun storage. So basically, if you open this up and you take this out, there's a little, if you see right here, there's a little slot, a diagonal slot, and that just clips in right there. It's very secure, and then that closes. So that's kind of cool. So that's one way you can store your weapon. And another way is you can take that off, close that back up, and there's also a port on the roof that you can plug in. And check this out, it actually rotates. Again, that's not a very secure. Okay. But yeah, once you get the gun in place, I think this needs to be a little bit longer or fatter or something. I had a problem with him holding it in robot mode, so just be careful. It's kind of my the one beef I have with this figure so far, is this is just not pegging in securely. So when you do want to move, I guess don't move it at the gun, move it at the base of this thing. But anyways, that does rotate. Yeah, this thing is just doesn't want to stay in here. Am I just doing this wrong? Hold on here. Let's try and get this a little bit. Let's see where it can fit in there. It should be really tight. It should be, you not only have the hole, but you have that little divot cut out right there that's, I'm assuming, holds this part, but it's really not going in. And I dropped it. Sorry about this, guys. I wasn't really anticipating this being this. I don't want to put too much pressure because then it's going to unpeg like the whole vehicle, which it's already starting to do. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to be very gentle with this. So anyways, this does spin around. Again, this is coming off. This does a full 360, so that is cool. So you do have two ways to store the gun. Am I just... I feel like I'm doing something wrong here, but it's just doesn't want to. Yeah, no matter how hard I push in there, it's this fits in there. Maybe it's just meant to be like that. I guess, I don't know. It seems like that groove was supposed to be for, maybe I was just doing it wrong. Maybe it's just the peg that fits in there. Anyways, that's a little bit better. Seems like it should go the other way though, don't you think? Let's see what it says in the instructions. Hold on, let me just, on the instructions, it does say, so there's two ways you can store the gun there, and then, yeah, it does say that it basically goes in like that. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. But anyways, that is another cool thing that that actually rotates. It's really neat. So I'm going to fiddle with that. Maybe I have to, I don't know, maybe shave this part down a little bit to fit in there. I will definitely fiddle with that later. But that's something you can do there. I will put that back. I kind of like it on this better just because it's a lot more secure. Anyways, so let's take away the backdrop here. Sorry for rambling. Sorry for all that that mess there. I wasn't anticipating that being so hard. Just a quick vehicle size comparison with Off-Road Bumblebee. There he is next to Off-Road Bumblebee. And you can see they are, Bumblebee's obviously a little bit shorter than Hot Rod, World War II Hot Rod. But yeah, all in all, I think this is a great figure. It's a really cool vehicle mode. You get a real nice details in both modes, especially the robot mode. You get some nice paint on there. The color is cool. Transformation's fairly easy. It's a little bit of a shell former, but hey, that's all right with me. I really, really dig this vehicle mode. It's really cool. So yeah, if you guys see this, happen to see this in the stores, definitely it's worth a pickup. Just be careful. I will tell you right now, there's some issues with tabbing and stuff. One cool thing though, when I was transforming it, is there's this little plate that you slide down, and the head it's kind of like an automorph thing where you slide the plate down, the chest plate, and his head recesses in there. So that's kind of cool. Something I haven't seen on a Transformer in a while. So yeah, anyways, for Transformers The Last Night, Studio Series 44, World War II Hot Rod. This has been Matt in Japan. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. Please stay home. Let's flatten the curve with this coronavirus, and hope everyone is staying healthy and finding lots of stuff to do at home. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks for watching.